Hey friends, I'm Rachel from the Confused Millennial. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am sharing a really fun, customizable DIY wall mural in my daughter's playroom. So you guys may remember this room from my fireplace makeover last year. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. It's basically this like massive room that kind of spans the width of our main house. Inside of it, there was this weird wall that kind of indented in. We also always knew we planned on homeschooling our daughter from before I even got pregnant with her. She came to me in kind of like a psychic vision, if you will, and she showed me that she was not supposed to go to regular schools. Everything else she has showed me in that vision has been true to date. So I'm just gonna roll with it and trust that she was meant to be homeschooled because that's what she wanted. So in starting to do this room, I really wanted to create a space that could easily transform / grow with us into our homeschooling journey. Obviously my daughter's young at this age, but I wanted to start really thinking about how we can curate a space that's inspiring, but that's all going to come in future videos because today we are just tackling this wall. Quick background on this. So I remember being a little kid and going over to one of my friend's house, and her mom had done a custom paint job in her room, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Like, you could actually paint whatever you wanted on your walls. They all didn't need to be one singular color. It blew my mind. So I knew that when I had kids someday, I was going to do that. And the only reason I waited until I had kids someday was because this is really like the first time in my life that I have a true home, if you will. I went from my parents' house to college dorm to college apartment to back to my parents' house to kind of just being a drifter. Friends' houses, my now husband, then boyfriend, apartment a few different times. I moved 13 times in my 20s. There was no customizing walls. There was no storage. I didn't even own forks until 3 years ago. So this has been a childhood dream come true. And we really wanted something that was inspiring and uplifting for my daughter's playroom. We also wanted something that was colorful to just kind of add to that whimsical feel. And I have to say, I think we nailed it. Plus, what made this even more special is she actually helped pick out part of the design, which I love. The inspo photo, I really liked the overall look and layout, but I didn't love the quote. I don't know, that's a whole other thing about duality. That's neither here nor there. So instead what I did was, I'm gonna read you 4 things, okay? This one says the world needs your light. This one says everything is possible. This one says where are dreams born? And this one says magic happens. Which one do you want? That one? Okay. Now I'm gonna rearrange them and we'll see if she still goes for the same ones. All right, I guess we have our winner. Chose it, kid, right here. She chose the same one 3 times, so that became our clear winner. From there, I started to pick out my colors. Huge shout out to Claire Paint for donating the paint. They're the only paint brand I reached out to for this because I knew they were perfect for my daughter's playroom. Number 1, they have 0 VOCs. I think it's like common knowledge at this point that paint gives off VOCs. There's that off-gassing period. A lot of times we only think about it when we're actually painting or the first 24 hours after we finished a paint job, but the reality is that our paint can continue off-gassing for years. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know we've been kind of on this health journey for the last year to reverse my husband's arthritis, and my daughter ended up in the ER with anaphylaxis in February of this year. So it's been a really big focus for us to reduce our toxin load as a family, and so making sure that we had the cleanest paint that we could find to really limit those toxins that we were putting off into our home. Sometimes air, like indoor in your home, air toxicity can be greater than outdoor air, which is why having like good air filters and all that stuff is so important because we're breathing it in all the time. Anyway, I digress. Claire Paint, 0 VOCs. It was exactly what I was looking for, especially in a space where a baby is gonna be all the time. It was just really meaningful for me is all I'm trying to tell you guys. And the other reason I love Claire is their color selection. They don't have a ton of colors, but they are all on point perfect. You don't get too overwhelmed with like all these crazy shades, but they're all really on trend shades, which I love. And then you just go ahead and order it online. So what I did was I knew I wanted something in the pink wheelhouse, and then I also needed a white to paint my design on. So I got a handful of swatches, and then I told you guys on Instagram to see which color combo was your favorite, and we ended up going with Rosé Season and With It. I am obsessed. I'm actually gonna be using these colors to redo my office as well, and I may even redo her room too. I'll leave a link in the description box below so you guys can check out all of Claire Payne's colors and read more about them yourself. Once I had my colors, I got to laying out what this mural would ultimately look like. So initially I tried having my husband hold a measuring tape up from one area and I held it down at the other, and using a pencil to kind of trace the straight line on the wall. But what ended up happening is every time I'd push on the pencil, I'd accidentally shift the measuring tape over, and it was just a really frustrating experience. So instead what I ended up doing was grabbing some painter's tape and grabbing this little wooden block from my daughter's Love Every Block set, which I'll also leave a link to in the description box below because it's an awesome block set. And I just, as I went down, smoothed out the painter's tape so there were no bubbles, there was no angles, it was completely flat on the wall using the block. Give me a really clean line for the next step in this project. It's time to start painting. So I started with my dark color first, and I really simply went around with a roller, filled in the edges with this little fun edging tool I had, and I was just careful to not go over the painter's tape line I had created. Once I got my first color on, and I used the dark color first, and I'll tell you why in a minute, I went ahead and removed the painter's tape. It's a little tip for you guys: don't wait for your paint job to finish drying to remove the painter's tape, because you'll run the risk of accidentally painting the tape on and having a really hard time getting it off. I pretty much waited 10 minutes and then took off that painter's tape. Next is going to be painting your lighter color or the base of this. So what I did was I used this little edger tool, once again, fresh head, and I started off just really slowly applying it to my edges first. I went right along that pink line, and the reason I did the light color second was if I accidentally got any of the light color onto the darker already dried one, I could just grab a paper towel and wipe it off, or wipe it off with my finger really quick. So I made a mistake. It was a little bit more forgiving. Once my edges were fully filled in, I just took a roller and filled in the middle part. This part moved really quickly. The next part of this is going to be getting your quote up on the wall. So really kind of figure out the dimensions of how you want your quote to look on the wall. I really liked the height of a piece of paper, so 8.5 inches tall. And from there, I actually just went into Canva, which I will leave a link to in the description box below. It's really awesome, super easy to use, fast graphic design kind of cloud-based software. It's kind of a competitor to PicMonkey. I prefer it over PicMonkey because it moves quicker. Anyway, so I went ahead and just threw this into Canva, got my dimensions figured out, and exported it from there as a PDF. From there, I opened up Adobe Acrobat Reader, used the print option, and selected the poster print option. This automatically cut my design where it needed to be cut so that I could go ahead and lay it out on the wall. And basically what I'm doing here is kind of creating a stencil-ish. There are stencils that do exist out there. If you want to go that route, you can totally get stenciled letters for paint projects like this. I just wanted to do this quick, easy myself. So what I did was I printed out my design, I taped it on the wall with some painter's tape using a level to make sure that I had a straight line for each of the lines of my quote. And then what I did was I took a ballpoint pen and just traced the outside of each letter. This created a slight indent into the wall for where I would fill things in. If you want to go ahead and just paint and use that indent as your guide, go for it. I know I lack a little bit of patience, so I needed a little bit of a larger visual reminder. So I used those indents as a guide and just traced the indents with a pencil. Once my quote was outlined on the wall, it was time to get to painting. Quick tip, if you're left-handed, start from right and then go left. Otherwise, you run the risk of resting your hand in the paint as you're moving this way. So definitely make sure you're going whichever way makes the most sense for your hand. I did not prime this. So quick tip also, if you're going from a dark color like I am here to a light color, so dark pink to a white, in my case, it can be helpful to prime your work first. I was very, again, impatient, so I just went ahead and got to painting. I ended up needing to do 3 coats of the white to really get this kind of solid, rich effect. When I went ahead to do the rest of the design, as you guys will see, I did prime before that. So I only needed 1 coat of primer and 1 coat of the white paint. It's really up to you which way you want to go. Which leads us to the next part of this, filling in your design. You get to really flex your creativity here. I will say it's definitely helpful to have either a picture like the Instagram photo I was using, or to have a sketch, just kind of a rough idea of where it is you're going, because it is such a large scale piece. What I ended up doing was starting on the left-hand side, and because I knew it was gonna be the easier, less intricate side, and I started placing the dots where I knew they would go for sure. I used a laser level for my first round of dots. I knew they were straight, I knew they were even. It really became a launch point and a guide as I continued to build on this design. So all I did was fill in the dots where I knew for sure they would go, and I kind of left this middle section open because I knew I wanted to put a star there, but I wasn't exactly sure where. Once I decided where I wanted that, I put that up and then filled in the rest of the dots. And that's kind of my tip for you. Fill in the easiest stuff. So as we moved to the right side, I knew I wanted dots under the word your. I really tried to focus on how could I take this large scale piece and make it smaller pieces that all ended up coming together. So once I got started on the right side, I went ahead and used my laser level again to give me that initial straight guide, filled in the round of dots that I knew for sure were going to go there. Then I ditched the laser level and I really let my creativity guide me. I knew roughly where I wanted another star, so I went ahead and put that there, and then I just kind of filled in the design from there. Whatever I thought would look good. It was a ton of fun. It was super easy. I enjoyed that part probably the most in all of this, which was kind of putting these puzzle pieces of the design together. And before I show you the finished product, well, I kind of already showed you a little bit of it. Make sure to hit that notification and subscribe button, because next week I'm going to be reviewing the next Love Every Play kit for months 17, 18, and 19, I think it is, called The Realist. You definitely won't want to miss that. And I have some really awesome Halloween DIYs coming your way that I am super stoked about. Anyway, let's get back into it. This is how it came out. I could not be happier. I am so obsessed. My husband and I just keep walking into it or walking by it and being like, this is so cool. And it just brings us a lot of joy and light. I know it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. As far as creating a really playful, inspiring playroom, it is exactly what we wanted. So if you guys decide to recreate a version of this, I would love to see it. Tag me on Instagram at @theconfusedmillennial. My name is Rachel if you have any questions, and feel free to catch up on that fireplace makeover I mentioned or some past Love Every Play kit reviews.